Do we have a new EDC flashlight that's going to dethrone the one that I carried all throughout last year? Stay tuned and find out. You're watching Living Survival. Last year I reviewed a lot of flashlights, including a lot of EDC size lights, and for me that's a CR123, a AA, possibly a small 18650, but generally when you get up into the 18650s you're getting into a larger light, something that I don't want to put down in my pocket and that I keep in a kit. So for me last year, the best light that I carried all year, the light that I kept putting back in my pocket after I reviewed many other great lights, was the EDC D25C. A CR123 light. It can also take a 16340. I like the form factor. I like that you can go instant to your low modes and cycle through up to your high modes, and it just is a great light. Plus you can get it in the Nichia 219, so you can get that nice warm tint to it. This year I've got a new light that I've been carrying, and it may possibly replace the D25C as my everyday carry light. So today we're going to look at the Klarus XT1C. Ever since I've gotten this flashlight, it's been in my pocket and I've really enjoyed using it. It's a CR123, also capable of taking that 16340 battery, which can drive it up to 700 lumens. So it's quite bright even for a small pocketable flashlight. The XT1C has an XPL high V3. I like that LED again with a max of 700 lumens. It's also got a 100 lumen mode and a low 5 lumen mode. Now the great thing about this light, as with other Klarus lights, is that it has dual tail switches on the back, so that you can do a lot of different things with this light. It has an outdoor setting. It also has a tactical setting, very similar to the XT11S that I reviewed previously from Klarus. The light also has a detachable pocket clip, which you can use to clip onto your pocket. You could remove it if you put it down in your pocket. You can also clip it onto a bag, and then you can also use this reverse side here to clip to the brim of your hat to use it as a headlamp. Rugged design, anodized aluminum. It's got some nice knurling here on the back. I really like the design. And then again on the back you have your dual tail switches. Let's look at how those work. So one of my other favorite lights from Klarus is the XT11S. This light rides in my get home bag. It's also got the dual tail cap switches on it, and again it's capable of being put into those different modes, a tactical type mode and an outdoor type mode, and you're going to see why that's advantageous in a moment here. This one's also USB rechargeable. Great light. So this one rides right in my get home bag, right here in the side pocket, and that's where that stays. Now you can see size-wise the XT1C is a bit larger than these other EDC style lights that take the 16340 or the CR123. We've got the Klarus, we've got my EDC that I love, we've got the Olight S1R. Now this is rechargeable as well. However, if you try to put this in your mouth to hold it, which I sometimes do with the smaller flashlight, you're going to get a nice little zing off the back of that. Got the little jet beam here, which is a nice light. It's got the twisty head on it, which I don't really like, although in the smaller lights it's okay because it is fairly easy to twist that head. And then we have the small S Mini from Olight as well. Now I'm not a big fan of the side switch on these smaller lights. They're easier to activate in your pocket, and it is a pain. Even though they have the electronic lockout, it's sometimes a pain to constantly worry about that being locked out or not, and that's why I prefer a tail clicky. A lot less chance of it activating in a pack or a pocket. Other things that you're going to get with the Klarus that you don't with these other lights is dual springs on the inside, which can handle the recoil of a weapon, for example. So you could mount this on a weapon, especially with the tail activation here. It has the two modes that you can put it in, which these other lights don't have. And then of course it has 700 lumens, and I don't believe any of these other lights get up to that high of an output. So the great thing about having these dual switches is that you do have those two modes. Right now I have it in the outdoor setting, so if I press the mode selector button here, you're going to get the low output. If I hold it down, it'll stay on, and then if I press the on off button here, you're going to get your high mode. So you have instant access to your high, you have instant access to your low. I really like that for applications around the home, walking the dog, for example, which is what the majority of what I use a light like this for is, and I really like the convenience of being able to switch into those two different modes. So when the light's on, you can select through your different modes here by pressing the other button. So you have your low, your medium, your high, or your 5 lumens, 100 lumens, and on up into your 700 lumens. If you hold the button down, you can get into your SOS as well. So with the outdoor setting, that's your special mode, SOS. It's very easy to switch it into the other mode, into our tactical mode. What we do is we turn the light on, and when the light is on, we're going to hold down the power button, and then you're going to see the light start to flash. And once the light starts to flash, there we go, we can press the other button. We're going to get a flash. One flash means tactical, two flashes means outdoor, so it's very easy to switch between the two. And now we're into our tactical mode, and the operation of the buttons becomes more tactical. So with our side button here, we have our instant access to strobe, and then with our other button here, we have our instant access to high. So this would be great if you're using it as a weapon light, or if you're using it as a weapon mounted light. You have your two tactical modes here, your high and your strobe. To put it back into our outdoor setting, again, real easy. We just turn the light on. We hold the power button down for 5 seconds until we get that flash. There we got the flash. We press the side button. We're going to get 2 flashes because that signifies our outdoor mode. And then we're back into our outdoor mode where we have our low and our high with the 2 buttons. So fantastic operation. Very easy to use once you get the hang of it. And I think that is so handy to have in a flashlight. Another thing that you get with the Klarus flashlights, as you do with a lot of other brands, is you've got all the current technology. So you have polarity protection, which won't allow you to put the battery in the wrong way. You have temperature regulation or overheat protection. You have constant circuitry, so you're not going to get the pulse wave modulation in a camera, for example, as you do with some other lights. And then, of course, you've got the rugged aerospace aluminum body here that can take a fall up to, I believe, 2 meters, and it's also IPX8 waterproof. In addition to all that, you got the dual springs on the inside. You also have a hardened mineral glass lens, which has anti-reflective coating, and a price tag of $49. Now, I may have a coupon code from GearBest. If I do, I'm going to place that down in the description, but even at $49, that's a great price, especially when comparing it to the lesser features on some of the other lights that I've shown. So here is the low setting on the XT1C. Now you can see it's fairly spotty. Now I prefer a spottier light for my EDC. If you want something a little bit more floody, maybe crime scene investigation or close quarters lighting, maybe look at the O lights. They have that tier lens that gives you more of a floody beam. But I prefer the spot in my EDC light. This is the low 5 lumens. This will run for 53 hours. This is the 100 lumen setting, again with that spottier beam. A lot of light at 100 lumens. Perfect for EDC. This will run for 3 hours. Then we can boost up to our high, which is 700 lumens with the 16340 battery. Plenty of light. Spotty beam, so you do get some distance with it. And at this setting, it will run for 50 minutes. Love the XPL high, love the mode spacing, and love the operation of this light. The only con that I could say is that it could be built maybe a little bit smaller, but again, I like the size, especially using it as a tactical style light. It does fit in your hand a bit better than some of the other small lights. It does have a fairly focused beam, so it's got that deeper reflector, which, for example, you don't get in the O-light, a much wider beam. Therefore, they can make this smaller, even with the rechargeable capability. One other con would be that it's not USB rechargeable, but for an EDC light, something that I'm using all the time, it does not bother me. I don't let this light sit. Therefore, I'm not going to be caught without a charged battery. When the battery starts to get low, I make sure that I keep it charged, not like I do with my other Klarus that sits in my get-home bag. That one being USB rechargeable is very advantageous because if I do get caught without a charge, I can simply charge it right back up. So again, I'm going to leave a link below to GearBest where you guys can pick this light up. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video and give it a big thumbs up for me. Make sure you leave me a comment below. Please share this video to your family and friends on your social media. And as always, please click that red subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.